What's up, you guys? Slim here at Team Symmetry, here to finally bring you guys the first episode of Slim Psychology for the new September 2012 format. I made a post recently on Facebook saying that I wanted to make a video about why I felt Effect Veiler was still effective this format and why at times it's actually better than maxx. And then I thought to myself, there's kind of no point of, trying to say one card is better than the other when both are actually needed. So what this is going to be about mostly is picking your hand traps wisely. And the reason why I have only maxx and Veiler is because most decks include Gores, aside from the decks that can't run it. That's a very powerful hand trap. It's very standard. I don't really need to get into the reasons why you need Gores. Gores is Gores and it's broken. The other hand trap is Honest. Honest would be mostly for light decks like Gemini Heroes and other decks that run a lot of light monsters. I felt there's no point to include these because you already know that if your deck calls for it, you run it. It's pretty standard. But the main ones I wanted to talk about were Veiler and maxx because I feel that a lot of people are quick to say this card is garbage. A lot of people are just like trashing this card and only running two maxx. Now, why they do this, I can fully understand at one point, but the other point I don't understand. I feel maxx is great. You drop it and usually, you plus, because you can chain it to a Monster Born, chain it to a Miracle Fusion, chain it to a Tour Guide, chain it to a lot of cards. Because usually when they go Tour Guide and you maxx, they're gonna, if they don't have the Sangan, they search the other Tour Guide. Now, if you're brave and you have protection, you'll leave the two Tour Guides, but mostly you're going to XYZ. So off the maxx, you're going to be able to draw two cards. Two cards is great. It's like a pot of greed. And this card is mostly made for one main reason only, and that reason is because of this deck, because of windups. I'm only highlighting the main windup monsters: the Rat, the Shark, the Magician, and the Carrier. Now, everyone knows that the most broken play is, open Magician Shark, and then, proceed to do your crazy combo, whatever way you want to do, the turn 1 Shockmaster, whatever, the 8700 loop, the 9100 loop, whatever it is. Now, most people already know that, you summon the Magician, you reveal the Shark, off the reveal you drop the maxx. Now, wind-up players will have to decide at that point, they're already going to draw one card off of this, and then as I proceed to do my other plays, triggering the Magician and everything, I'm going to let them draw more cards. Now, the thing is that a lot of wind-up players these days are just saying, fuck it. They're literally using the psychology that I first started with called fuck it, go for game, because Shockmaster is a card. Shockmaster completely changed the way wind-ups are ran, because it used to be when you would run the hand loop, if you went Magician Shark and the maxx you'd stop. You'd go to a Zen Mains, a Carrier, or whatever, and you'd end your turn. These days, the ability to make turn 1 Shockmaster is a lot easier for this deck, and what they'll do is they'll let you draw. They'll let you maxx. They'll let you drop the maxx and draw like 14, 15 cards, and if you don't have Effect Veiler and all you have is Gores and they call monster effects and proceed to OTK you lose. Pretty simple. I've had it happen many times, and I've always regretted when I was first running different decks only maining maxx because it was like, I don't need Veiler. It's like, I'll just draw and then they'll stop. Well, they're getting a lot smarter these days. I feel that maxx is powerful as it is, and of course with it getting reprinted, everyone's going to run it, so that's great. Like, everyone will have maxx. Like, you'll expect maxx. You're not going to make stupid plays, but I do feel that Effect Veiler is not without its charm. Effect Veiler needs to be talked about a little bit, because a lot of people are quick to say that the card is dead. They're like, well, Inzektors are kind of dead. Well, they're not really dead. Billy was able to top 8 with them, but at the same time, I still think Effect Veiler is still very effective and should still be talked about, because Effect Veiler is great, and it's great for a number of reasons. Number one, this card and maxx are similar in a couple ways. They both are hand traps. They're both cards that you draw into, you usually want to open with, because it's like, if I have either one of these cards, I'm going to have plus off my opponent, or I'm going to get them to stop what they're doing. Maxx will possibly get them to stop. Effect Veiler stops them completely, though. When you go Magician Shark, and you get, or if you only open like a Tour Guide or something, if you go Magician Shark, you're able to Veiler the Magician, and at that point they bring out the wind-up Shark, and then it's like, well, shit, I have to make a rank 4. Well, Carrier being rank 3, they have to make a rank 4. They have to do something else unless they open ridiculously broken. So honestly, Effect Veiler does a lot more damage during that one play. Other reasons it's good is because my favorite card in the deck being wind-up Rat, because it is like another Tour Guide. You go Rat, you go to activate the effect, you Veiler it, boom. If you maxx it, okay, I'll still get out my other monster. They can get a wind-up rabbit and just loop it, and then each turn bring back the wind-up rat, use it to bring back the rabbit, and then eventually go off and get their play off. So I feel that maxx as great as it is not as good as Effect Veiler right now. Now, a lot of people may disagree with me. They may say, well, isn't it all about, getting advantage on your opponent? You may think you -1 when you drop the Veiler and you don't get anything off it, but if you really think about it, in Yu-Gi-Oh, being able to stop effects is key, and being able to stop their effects with a single card is great. Effect Veiler is good against other decks too. It's good against Gear Gias. Gear Gias are big, and honestly, maxx doesn't do that much. Like, I watched a couple people today at my school. One of my friends was running Gear Gias, and they drop maxx, and it's like, okay, I can just stop. You drop Veiler, they're done. Like, you drop on the Gear Gia armor, like, you can do it like this. You can do it to the Gear Gia X. You can do a lot of things like that, and that's why I feel Effect Veiler is really good. Plus, like I said, being a hand trap, it's just, you think your opponent has it when they might not, and it can be a really, like, interesting psychology game. It's like, my opponent has 3 cards in hand. What are the chances that one of them is a hand trap? And, these days, people running multiple copies of hand traps, the chances are pretty high. So I feel that Effect Veiler is amazing. And another reason it's amazing is there's other decks this card will hit. This card is a better answer to Tour Guide. I would rather stop the Tour Guide play than try to net a profit off it and then not be able to win if I don't draw what I need. You take a gamble with maxx, but that's why I think that while I really do like Effect Veiler, I would still run maxx. I would still run both. And the reason I would run both is because you need them both in different situations. Like, if you do run Gores, you want to draw into it. If you want to stop their effects, you use Effect Veiler. It's really simple when you think about it. The psychology of this is just, do you have it? Does your opponent think you have it? And if you drop it, what will they do? Like, I love watching games, like when I record games at locals, I love watching when the opponent goes maxx or Effect Veiler. Does the opponent stop? If they drop maxx, these days, they don't stop. You drop Effect Veiler, you have to stop. Your effect's been negated. You have no way around that. So I feel that is why Effect Veiler is still good. Plus, you can throw in some of the random reasons why Effect Veiler is good. Effect Veiler is good because it's a tuner. Okay, not that many people synchro these days, but I don't think synchros are dead anymore. I think that decks will find a way to synchro with it. Plus, if you run a lot of level 4s, you can make an instant Catastrophe or Magical Android. So this card has that ability. Also, it's a light target for BLS. And yes, I know all about the BLS reprint that everyone's talking about, saying that it can't banish face-down monsters. That sounds like total trash to me. I'm not going to make a video on it because I really have no opinion on it. I feel that if that's what they did to BLS, that's why they kept it on the list. So, anyways, that's the whole point of this video, is that Effect Veiler should be included in your main deck. And the reason why it should be included in your main deck alongside maxx, I'm not saying run one over the other. I'm saying run both. Run both because wouldn't you rather have all the outs you can, all the possible outs you can to decks? You know that since Billy topped with Inzectors, people are going to try and run Inzectors. You know that this is a better out to Gear Gias. You know that both of these are amazing against Windup, and that, like I said, maxx will tell a Windup player, well, they have 1 Gores, it's in a 41 card deck. Are they really going to draw it? If I make Shockmaster, who cares? That's what maxx says. Effect Veiler says, well, shit. I have to make a different play. That's why I feel that both these hand traps are important, but that's why I feel that Effect Veiler is not dead, you guys. A lot of people are glad that people are taking out Effect Veiler, but I mean, at the same time, that's not that good. It's like, if you run into a deck where you'd rather have Veiler versus C, I mean, seriously. When I played against Dino Rabbit, I love having maxx, sure, I'll net off the rabbit, but I'd rather Veiler the rabbit, to be honest. Like, I'd rather the rabbit not go off. I'd rather not be staring down a Laggy or a Dolka. I would rather stop the deck where it gets started and really just, take control from there. And I feel that if you include both of these hand traps together in your deck, you'll be very successful depending on the deck. So that's all I pretty much got to say, you guys. I'm glad to be doing these psychology episodes again. I guess, like, people will say this wasn't really, like, super psychological, but in a sense it was. Because your opponent is not going to know what you're running, and they're going to take a gamble. And when you drop maxx, already in their mind, they're thinking psychologically, do I go for it, or do I make the cautious play? If you drop Effect Veiler, it's like, well, shit. Where do I go from here? Either way, your opponent's mind is being affected, and I feel that that's why these cards are so powerful. They do so much, and now that maxx will be reprinted, everyone will be running them, so you should expect them in all your upcoming games. And like I said, Gores and Honest are hand traps that you run in certain decks. Gores being probably more ran than honest. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you still think maxx is better? Would you rather run maxx over Valor? Would you run Valor over maxx? Would you run both? I personally run 2 and 2. I run 2C, 2V in most decks that I run, either be Dino Rabbit, Windup, etc. I like cards like this because I like having my outs, especially when I'm not going first. When my opponent's going first, I hope to draw one of these. So let me know what you guys think. You know, thumbs up the video. 150 plus likes would be great. Let me know what you'd like to see on Slim Psychology. Is there anything particular you'd want me to talk about in this upcoming format, like side decking, deck choices, what I think will be the best, etc. Let me know what you guys think. Thumbs up the video, and thank you for watching.